I'm B. Ramesh. I am a co-founder, director, and writer at Foreigners Media. I'm the marketing manager at Birthday Cake Records, and I'm one half of the experimental hip-hop duo Cartel Madras.
Oh my God, I'm so impressed. Okay, hi, I'm just Shakura Saida. I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, event producer, and workshop coordinator.
Amazing. So you're about to enter into a 5-week workshop, which sounds absolutely amazing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, well, I've been doing this for a little bit, over 40 years. And one of the things that I had when I was younger, I had really great mentors. And these mentors would watch me perform and they would basically critique everything I was doing. I didn't ask them to, nor did I welcome it, but they were really quick to critique everything and just give me tips on how to be a better performer on stage. And I thought, what if we had conversations about how to be stronger, better, more authentic on stage? And that's what this workshop is for.
I think that is so valuable, especially right now. We have no shortage of talent, but the raw skills of being on stage, honing your craft, being able to sell to a crowd, and bring everyone in the room onto your side is something that I think, not lacking necessarily, but is one of those skills that are a little bit forgotten in this day and age of social media, being an online performer, catering to your phone rather than an audience of people.
Exactly.
So you have 5 weeks of this workshop. Why don't you break down what each week might look like?
Absolutely. The first week is an intro week. We're going to talk about how to be grounded on stage. We're going to talk about what the issues are that you might be facing on stage. And we're also going to delve into the song that you're going to bring with you. I'm giving everyone song choices. And talk about how you connect to the song and how you think you might want to present the song. Because I know by the end of this workshop, how you thought you were going to connect to the song is going to be completely different from how it is at the end of it. The second week, we're going to be looking at lyrical interpretation. I'm bringing in my mentor, my second mom, Jackie Richardson, because she is I don't even know how to put it, she loves lyrics. And she loves analyzing lyrics and figuring out what the lyrics mean, not just in this moment, what they meant in the past, what they might mean in the future, and how she relates to them in this millisecond. She puts all that work into it. So I want her to come in and speak about her process. And then we're going to see how her process translates into the song that you've picked. Third week, we'll be working with Faulkner Abrams, who is one of the best vocalists I know in terms of vocal teachers. And he'll be going through a whole bunch of exercises. And then after that, again, we'll be connecting that to the song you're singing. The fourth week, we'll be working with the accompanist and talking about how timing makes a difference, how to pace yourself, how to pace your set, how to connect to your musicians. And I'll also be bringing in a special guest for that. And then the fifth week, we're going to present our work, we're going to present our songs, and just speak about what we've learned and what we think we can do going forward as musicians, as artists, as spokespeople, as human beings.
That's amazing. There's so much value to get out of these weeks. And you have these incredible guests for so many of these weeks. I'd love to hear a little bit about your relationship with these people and how you're able to bring them into this course.
Absolutely. Jackie Richardson, I've known since 1985. She was working with Salome Bay. Salome Bay had written a show called Madame Gertrude, the story of Ma Rainey. And Jackie was the star of the show, and I was the assistant stage manager. So for about 6 or 7 months, I got to hang out with Jackie Richardson, Joe Seeley, Archie Lean, and Salome Bay on an almost day-to-day basis. And I learned so much from her in that space about being gracious on stage and off, being a true professional, how to treat your musicians, how to treat your co-workers, and how to make sure that you're always giving your best to the audience. And that relationship, that bond that we built then grew. She's probably one of the very first people that I call if I have any questions about the industry. And she still gives great advice, great feedback, and great critiques. Can't forget about the critiques, because they're always there. Faulkner Abram, I've known also almost as long as I've known Jackie. And He first entered my life as a co-singer, somebody that I used to write with and sing with. And then he moved into this place where he became this vocal expert. And I work with him on a regular basis before and during every single one of my recordings. And I also use him every single time before I go on stage. I have a series of his exercises that I go through and make sure that my voice is at its best. And I have a lot of respect for him and what he's able to bring, not just as a vocal teacher, but also as a performance teacher. That's something that he works with.
That's fantastic. And I remember you saying, this is for artists, people looking to level up their stage presence, their performing capabilities. But I recall you also saying that it's not just for professional artists. I would love to hear you speak on that.
So the thing about it is, I think I know everybody has opportunities where they need to be in front of other people, whether they're retail sales or whether they're corporate, no matter what work you're in, at some point in your life, you're in front of people. And it's really hard to figure out how to present yourself in the most authentic way possible and to always have confidence. So for me, an introvert who has to be an extrovert because of her work, I've developed a way of dealing with being in front of people that allows me to be myself as much as possible without feeling as though I have to put on a front, I have to pretend to be someone I'm not, or I have to feel nervous or anxious about it. And so if you are an emerging artist, if you are an established artist, if you are someone who is thinking about being a singer, if you're an actor, if you're somebody who works in the corporate world, if you're someone who is curious about how musicians, how actors, how singers get up on stage and do what they do, this is the workshop that you want to be a part of. Every single person around should be in this workshop.
I love that. And you're speaking to something which is so important to artistry and to performing, which is authenticity. And something that we spoke about earlier was the conversation about authenticity, being able to tap into your own energy reserves. A lot of artists have an alter ego that they use on stage. And yet you mentioned that even within that additional personality, additional characterization of yourself, you can remain authentic to who you are and how you want to present on stage.
Absolutely. I think the more grounded you are with who you are and how this person relates to you, the more authentic of a performance you can put through, even if it is through an alter ego. You think about the best actors out there, why do we believe them? Why do we forget that it's Robert De Niro? Why do we forget that it's whoever it is? Because they are so rooted in who they are that when they take on this other persona, that persona becomes connected. It's almost like a metamorphosis happens where those two people really connect and it gives an even fuller expression of yourself. You should feel as though even if you're speaking, even if I'm Donald Duck on stage, who am I as Donald Duck? How does Donald Duck's life impact my life? Where do we intersect? What's my relationship to Daisy? And why am I so resentful of Mickey and Minnie and their life? And why is Goofy? Why does he get so much screen time? He doesn't deserve it. So all of those things really matter to me if I'm Donald Duck or if I'm Shakura playing Donald Duck. Otherwise they don't matter at all.
Absolutely. And you have such a unique and insightful perspective on performance, on bringing that character to life on stage. Like, what would you say are some of the key takeaways you're hoping that the people participating in this workshop receive?
Key takeaways. I really hope that everyone comes away with more confidence. I really hope they feel more protected, because I think this vulnerability that we show on stage in front of audiences, in front of people that we're speaking in front of, it can leave us feeling really raw and really anxious. But if we come prepared and if we are grounded, then we'll feel more protected. We'll feel more confident about knowing that we're not going to put ourselves in a predicament. I really hope that people will feel more connected to their audiences, their band members, their front of house people, their backstage crew people. I think that this workshop is something that I'm looking forward to sharing with everyone what I know. But what I'm also looking forward to are the little tidbits that come out from each person that I then learn from, and that we share around. We all have something that will help someone else become a better person, however they choose to present themselves.
That's amazing. And you're such a powerhouse performer. People might see this and be like, well, Shakura, that's easy for you to say. You're such a star, and you're on stage, you take it over, you do all of these things. But, you had to get there, and you learned, and you mentioned the critique from your mentors and the people that you trust in this industry. And it sounds like that is something you really want to impart with the participants here.
Absolutely. I don't even think of myself as a powerhouse on stage. I do think of myself as fearless. Because once I hit that stage, that is my true state of being, fearless. But it is a state of being that I've only had for maybe the last 10 years at most. Because before that, I had anxiousness. I had things going through my head like, am I going to make enough money on CD sales in order to pay my band? Am I going to, where am I going to put them up for the night? Or what am I doing later? Or do I have a meeting later? I had all these things running through my head that had nothing to do with the performance. Now when I go on stage, I'm fully there and I'm fully present in what is happening in that moment. Even if I tripped 30 seconds ago, that's done now. I'll think about that when I get off stage. Now I'm done tripping. I picked myself off the floor. I pulled my skirt back down. Hope nobody saw my drawers. And I'm back on. So I think what I want people to get is, I want them to find their fearlessness. I want them to find their superhuman power. We all have it, and we all should be able to connect to it in a way that allows us to be the biggest, best, greatest person that we can be.
That's amazing.
Did that answer your question?
That really did. Okay. That was fantastic. and I think that is like such a valuable way to look at it. And it's like, absolutely, like you can say you're not a powerhouse. We all know the truth. But I think that is such a valuable insight in terms of like fearlessness on stage is really what I think a lot of performers have difficulty tapping into. Mm-hmm. Because it requires a level of self-assuredness, confidence, and a level of composure that as artists is sometimes hard to grasp onto as well.
It is. It really is.
Because, it's all up in the air. You're being on stage. Even if you are presenting, your strongest work, it is extremely vulnerable to share that with people. And you were mentioning this is for performers at any stage of their career, people in corporate, people in sales. This isn't just for full-time artists. This is actually for anyone looking to get on stage.
Spoken word poets,
yes,
people who busk. Anybody who's in front of somebody at some point in their life or has dreamed of it or has thought about, what would happen if I did this, or people who are timid. I have such social anxiety in real life when I'm not Shakura Saida. And a lot of times I have to tap into that Shakura Saida-ness in order to walk into a room. But I think that idea of just being connected to who you are and having intent, that's the thing. What is my intention when I walk into this room? What is my intention when I walk onto the stage? What is my intention when I say this poem? What is my intention when I say this speech? What is my intention when I go into work and I've got to sell, 10 pairs of jeans and 5 dresses in order to make my commission? What is my intent every time I speak to somebody? Those are the things that we lose because we're so busy thinking about everything else. The more intentional you are, the less opportunity you have to be nervous, the less opportunity you have to be freaking out, the less opportunity you have to think about all the things that you should have done, could have done, would have done, because you've got your intent and you're in that moment.
So true. That's a really great way to put it. So are there any technical skills people need to bring to this course? Any level of, performance experience, singing experience, anything like that?
No, I think bring yourself and bring a level of fearlessness and trust, if not in me, in yourself. Trust that you can do this and that I'm not going to have you do anything that's going to make you feel super uncomfortable. We will be sitting in discomfort at different times, but I know that everyone that's coming to this workshop will be willing to support everyone else. That's the one thing that I know that I can provide for everyone is a safe space. not coming there to judge, not coming there to laugh at anyone, not coming there to help anyone be anything but the best they can be. And that's something that I want for myself as well. I want to grow through this workshop. I want to learn from people. So technical skills, no, I don't think so. Even if you've never sung before, I want to see you at this workshop.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think that makes it so much more accessible. I know a lot of people have their reservations and fears about participating in something like this because, they might not have ever taken a singing lesson before. They might not even know what they sound like singing. So I think it's really fantastic that you have the doors open to any level of experience, skill level.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, and if I think about my own life where I was told several times that I could not sing, and where I didn't learn until I was 25 that I had a hearing loss.
Wow.
So I'm not a natural singer. Everything that I do on stage, I've had to learn, and I've had to push for. I'm not the best vocalist out there, but I've had to learn what my strengths are and build on those and become really comfortable with that. And that's something that the workshop's going to help with as well. What are your strengths? What are your challenges? What are the things that you want to be better at? But what are your strengths? What are the things that we can use not as a Wizard of Oz type curtain, to hide your challenges, but how do we make your strengths so big that your challenges become minuscule? And then your challenges you can work on and get better at. I've become a better singer even the past 10, 15 years because I'm not focusing on that anymore. I'm just focusing on being me.
That's really beautiful. I know a lot of people struggle with the idea that you have to be, born a singer, talented from day one. You need to be singing. So I think it's
nice.
I mean, of course, and some people really do.
Yeah.
They've got the chops since they were a kiddo. But I think it's really meaningful that you're saying that even for yourself, you learned at 25 so many of these things. In the past 10, 15 years, you've really leveled up your own game, and I think that's really powerful and speaks to the intentions behind this workshop and really resonates with the fact that this is for everyone that wants to do it and get to that next stage.
Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful. I think it sounds like a really fantastic opportunity for performers, for people that are interested in performing, for people that want to learn some of these key skills like being able to sing that song, working with an accompanist, learning about the lyrics, the meaning, the motivation behind who wrote it and why it sounds like that. I think these are all fantastic things for anybody curious. And that's really special.
Thank you, Bea. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great day today.
This is a new thing. Did you see? Okay.
We're having fun.
Okay, this is new. Okay, so do you want to do a little cut sign or some things we know? Or thank you.
Sorry. So stupid the way I did that.
But it's good because this is.
And that's a lie. I'm running it from February 19th.
Sorry, you're not running it from February
No, I'm
19th.
not either. I'm running it from January 19th to February 16th. And the things that we're going to be doing in this workshop are going to be unbelievable. And if you don't believe me, I don't know who you're going to believe. But anyway, I'm trying to remember what it is I was supposed to say. These are going to be great outtakes.
But the things we're doing in this workshop, unbelievable.
And if you don't believe me, what are you going to believe?
What are you going to do? When you said the things we're doing in this workshop are unbelievable, I was like, I need to look into
Straight away, real straight.
I was like,
Yep.
the things I'm doing in this workshop, unbelievable.
Okay.
I'm so hot in here, you guys. Jesus.
It's too hot here.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Just
do dum dum do do ba da dum do dum dum do